Hey, what's up, everybody? Benji Bruce here with SpeakingLifestyle.com, and essentially in this video, we're going to talk about marketing yourself as a speaker. I mean, speakers, they basically want to know how to market themselves so they can get on stages and make money. The problem is, how do you actually do that? I mean, how do you get a company to pay you $10,000 or more to speak on stage for 60 minutes or however long? One of the things that I've mastered is getting booked on corporate stages. And I mastered it because in the beginning, I wasn't booking anything. I mean, I knew that I was good, but nobody was hiring me. So my schedule, it just looked like a freaking ghost town. And I know what it feels like to want to be on stages so badly and to know that you're good, but to essentially nothing's actually happening. You're just not getting booked. Maybe you're just hoping someone's going to find your website. You're hoping they're going to call you. You're just hoping someone's going to see that video that you put up on YouTube and call you, and it just never comes. And you're not exactly sure what to do because all the advice that you read about online or maybe see in Facebook groups, it's just theory. I mean, none of it is actually, it doesn't really seem to work for you. And everyone acts like they're booking gigs, but very few people actually are. And the ones that are, they don't really reveal what they're actually doing because they're too busy doing it rather than hanging out on groups and actually teaching it. In this video, I'm going to show you how to market yourself as a speaker. I'm going to show you the steps you need to take today, tomorrow, and the next day to start getting the phone ringing and to get the emails coming in and getting paid to speak. It's not that hard. It's just a matter of having the right knowledge and doing something with it. Everyone kind of seems to be looking for like that magic pill, the magic pill that's going to instantly fill up their schedule. They're looking for that 3-step formula, but there really is none. I'm going to tell you the actions that you need to take to fill up your schedule and what you need to do to get booked. And from that moment on, it's just a matter of whether or not you're going to do it. So if you want to market yourself as a speaker, there's essentially 3 things that you need to really master. Number 1 is your image. Number 2 is your visibility. And 3 is growth. You need to build your image in a way that instantly influences people to hire you. If you want to charge $10,000 and you have to look like a $10,000 speaker, most speakers, they actually don't do this first part the right way. They want to get straight to the part of, oh, tell me how to get on stages. Tell me how to just get booked. And they don't realize that this is how you get booked. I mean, it's kind of like, it's like an author, a book author who writes a book and they want to sell their book. And they're basically saying, look, I don't really want to learn how to design the book cover. I don't care about the book cover. I don't care about the editing. I don't care about what it looks like or anything like that. I wrote the freaking book and I just want people to buy the damn book. Like, it's pretty much exactly like that. And it doesn't work like that. If you neglect the image, then you just won't get booked. I mean, it's that plain and simple. You also need to become visible to the right people. That's the second part, become invisible to the right people. If you're talking to the wrong people, then you just won't get hired as a speaker. And the last stage that you need to master is growth. This is where you get the publicity. You have the referral engine going on. You got the products. You have the multiple revenue streams. The growth stage is where you start charging more for gigs. And this is where you really get the ball rolling pretty much. So let's essentially break these down one by one. First thing is the image stage. When you're creating your image, you want to create what I call the prestige experience. This is where you create the look, you create the image of a pro. Now, some speakers, listening to this, they might be saying something like, oh, well, my image is pretty good. I have a website, I have videos, and I have a marketing kit and all that stuff. But let me give you a little wake-up call here. If you're not getting booked, if you don't have the gigs that you want, you don't have the right image. It's that plain and simple. I've had a client who was paying around $20,000. They came up to me. They literally said that, hey, when we saw your videos and your website and everything, we almost didn't contact you because we thought that you were going to charge too much. And the thing, they were already spending around $20,000 to have me out there, and they still thought I charged more. That's the power of image. Out of all the speakers who look at the speaking lifestyle videos and look at the blog on this site, I only came across one speaker who had a great image, but he wasn't getting as many gigs as he wanted to. And he's actually a memory champion. And if you're listening to this, you probably know who you are. He had the TV footage. He had a nice website. He had a lot of really good stuff, but still wasn't getting booked for the prices that he wanted and the amount of gigs that he wanted. His problem wasn't image, it was visibility to the right people. But that's just one speaker out of many of the speakers who are watching this, listening to this, that I've actually looked at. I've looked at a lot of your guys' websites. If you're watching this, then I can't tell you how important your image is and how much you need to create this prestige experience. Now, part of that image is essentially the way you describe yourself. Most speakers, they start off wrong because they describe what they do in the wrong way. You have to describe yourself and your topic in a way that matches your market, so that way you actually get hired for the right market based on the right topic you're talking about. So most speakers listening to this, they'd obviously like to get paid speaking gigs in the corporate market. Now, let me ask you this. If you want to get paid speaking gigs in the corporate market, which speaker do you think a company is going to hire for their event? The speaker who talks about leadership or the speaker who talks about bullying, like school bullying? Obviously, they're going to hire the speaker who talks about leadership because it's a message to market match. It's not that the topic of bullying isn't important. It's just that it's not something the corporate market is looking for. If you're talking about bullies, then you obviously go to like middle schools or high schools or something. Now, I'm sure you could easily tell the difference between those two topics and the market as well. But what I'm getting at is that you need to know the difference between what you speak about and why the market hires speakers like you. In which market hires speakers like you. In fact, I want you to go to Les Brown's website right now. You're watching this on the internet, go to Les Brown's website, type in lesbrown.com and click on the tab that says meeting planners. And you'll see that Les Brown, he gets it. Well, he obviously gets it or he wouldn't be as successful. But what Les Brown gets is that he knows the difference between what he talks about and what clients hire speakers for. You can say that you talk about changing people's lives and you talk about helping people visualize their success. That's great and all, but if you want to book corporate gigs, then they're more focused on the experience you're going to create at their event. Les Brown, on the website in the meeting planner section, he immediately says, when you need your event to be a success, you need to rely on a speaker that's going to meet your needs. He goes on to talk about how they're going to have this, they have this responsibility of making the event a huge success, and he's basically going after the fear emotion in every event planner. Every event planner is terrified of hiring the wrong speaker who's going to be boring on stage. They're going to pay $20,000 for a speaker, and he's going to get up there and be boring, and they're going to be pissed off. As you read the text on Les Brown's website, you'll notice that he's addressing the corporate event planner who's looking for the best keynote speaker imaginable that's obviously going to fit with their budget. He's not saying like, hey, I change people's lives and your audience is going to be forever changed. He's not saying that. He focuses on the corporate event planner, the person reading the website who's really just looking for a very entertaining keynote speaker. You have to know how to build your image by knowing who you're building it for. A lot of speakers build their marketing materials for everyone. They confuse getting paid speaking gigs with using speaking to grow their business. They're two completely different things. If you want to get paid speaking gigs, then all of your marketing has to talk to one person, the person whose job it is to plan the company event. They work for the company and they're really just looking for an engaging speaker, an entertaining speaker. If you want to use speaking as a tool for getting more clients, like maybe getting more clients for your coaching business or whatever you're doing, then you have to build your marketing materials differently. You're more focused on an internet marketing business model rather than a keynote speaker business model. These are just little details that allow you to get booked on stages or to not get booked and to wonder why nobody's emailing you and calling to hire you. But like I said earlier, most speakers are so focused on, I want someone to hire me. Tell me the things that I need to do to get paid gigs, that they forget that this is the stuff that gets them hired. This is the stuff they have to do before they're ever going to get on stage. I remember this lady in the seminar market. She's really successful in the seminar market and helps speakers with the seminar industry. And she asked me about getting paid speaking gigs. And she knew that I was booking all these paid gigs, and she was really good at working with speakers in the seminar industry. So she asked me what to do to get those speakers into the corporate market and to get them paid speaking gigs. Well, she was essentially asking about like the marketing. I mean, like what specific activities will get a company to say, hey, yeah, we want to pay you $10,000 to have you speak for 60 minutes. Like, I don't know, like maybe there's a website she could post the speaker on that's going to get them gigs, or maybe she can find events and contact the people in charge and they're going to say, yeah, let's give you $10,000. But what I told her is that almost everything is in the marketing materials. The website, the videos, the copywriting, everything, every way you're going to get booked to get that $10,000 gig, $15,000 gig, it's all in your marketing materials. You can make 1 million cold calls to all the right people who hire speakers for company events, and not one of them will pay you if your marketing materials suck. But if you make just 100 calls to just get a few gigs, you're obviously going to get them if your marketing materials are on point. It's not the cold calling that made it work. It's the marketing materials that made it work. It's the image. Now, there are several things that influence people to hire you as a speaker when you're building your image. But the one thing that I want to focus on right now are your video testimonials. So I want you to watch this video real quick.
Hi, I'm Marni Blanco. I work for Remax LLC here in Denver, Colorado, and I just saw Benji Bruce, and shut up. That was amazing. My head hurts. I feel like I need to take some Advil because I cannot figure out how possibly you could do anything you just did. Amazing, wonderful, awesome job. Way to go, Benji.
Karan Stokes, Remax International, one of the vice presidents here. We just saw Benji Bruce. Phenomenal. Blew my mind how he's working on things and what he's doing. Inspirational message. So check him out. Benji, great job.
Hey, what? You were on top, right on, very impressive. We love the presentation. We do not get excited very easy, I can tell you that. I'm skeptical. But you made a believer out of me. So more power to you. Love the energy. Looking forward to it, and I'm definitely going to bring you into our organization.
Now, what does that do? Video testimonials demonstrate that you walk the walk. I mean, you don't just talk the talk, you walk the walk. They show that other people love what you do, and when you have so many people talking about you, they just can't help but be influenced by it. When you go to Amazon and you want to buy a book, I mean, you look at the reviews. If there are a ton of reviews and most of them are good, then you're much more likely to buy the book. But if a book has 2 out of 5 stars, then you're guaranteed not to buy it. If you don't have video testimonials, then you're losing out on speaking gigs. And I mean, all of selling, it revolves around proof that what you actually offer really works. I mean, look at the infomercials from really successful ones like P90X. I mean, P90X, it didn't start being successful until they showed the proof. They showed the abs that people have when they got when they were working out with the P90X system. They showed the pounds that everyone was losing. They showed the proof. Proactive, they've made over $1 billion with their infomercials by showing proof. In fact, I think Proactive is the most successful infomercial of all time. They basically show the before and after pictures. That's their proof. I mean, they say like, here's the picture where your face looks like a volcano, and here's the after picture where your face looks like silk. As a speaker, your video testimonials are the before and after shots. Now, you want to have obviously more than just video testimonials. I mean, you want to have video footage of you speaking, you want to have logos of the companies, things like that. But I'm talking about video testimonials right now because it's the easiest thing you could possibly get, even if you haven't spoken on a single stage in your life. You can literally go out right now and get some video testimonials. You can go out, go ask your mom, ask your friends, ask anyone to say anything great about you. They say, oh man, John Doe's a great person. That's all you really need. I mean, that's at least all you need to start out with. If you have nothing going on, you obviously want better ones, but there's no reason why you shouldn't be getting video testimonials. I mean, a coaching client of mine, he owns a business and he has around 20 to 25 employees. And I told him to go around to all those employees and to get video testimonials from every single one of them. And now he instantly has more proof than all these other speakers who've been speaking forever just by getting those video testimonials. Whatever you do, it's important that you don't make excuses about why you have to wait till later to get these video testimonials. If you don't get video testimonials either today, the very second you're done watching this, or tomorrow, then you're not serious about building your speaking business. I mean, it's that simple. If you say that you really want to get paid speaking gigs and you know that having video testimonials are going to help you and you still don't get some today or tomorrow, then you're not serious about building your speaking business. I don't care what you say. If you don't actually go out and do it, you're not serious. The only way you're going to grow your speaking business is to have specialized knowledge and to implement that knowledge very fast. Don't say things like, oh yeah, I know I should have video testimonials and oh, I'll make sure to get them next time. No, go get them right now, this very second, the second you stop listening to this. If you get into the habit of waiting to do things, then you'll never get things done. You'll wonder why you're not booking speaking engagements, and 6 months from now, you're going to be in the same spot as you are today. I want you to take a look at your actions. Look at the things that you did yesterday. Look at the things you're doing today. Now be completely honest with yourself. Could you have done more? Could you have done more to grow your speaking business? Were you just messing around? Were you on Facebook too much? Were you watching YouTube videos? I don't know. Did you do everything except the things that are actually building your speaking business? There are literally just 2 things you need to do if you want to really grow. Number 1, you get specialized knowledge. And number 2, you implement that knowledge. That's it. I mean, I really wish someone would have made a site like this, the Speaking Lifestyle site and the blog and the platform members area. There's so much information there about what to do, and I mean, there's so much information about how to build your speaking business. It's not even funny. I wish someone would have built this site when I was trying to build my business. I would have built it a lot faster. And yet, despite all this information for free, despite every free video on the Speaking Lifestyle site, there are still speakers out there who are messing around. There are still speakers out there who don't open the emails to watch the videos. I mean, what do they do instead? They say, oh, I'll watch it later. Or they later just never comes. They get another email. Then maybe they open it, maybe they don't. What they don't realize is that those aren't emails. This isn't a video you're listening to. This is your life. This is your speaking business. What they don't realize is that when you implement this stuff, you get gigs. When you do this stuff, you get booked. It's that plain and simple. But they don't see that email. They don't see that video. They don't see the platform members area. They don't see it as the very thing that's going to make their dream come true. Instead, they see it as, they just see it as an email. They see it as a video. They see the platform as $348 a year. And oh, God forbid if you have to actually pay for information to help your speaking business. It's important that you learn to get past what something is and see it for what it can be. When you get an email from me, I guarantee you that that email can change your life, but only if you let it. If you don't click on it, if you don't watch it, and more importantly, if you don't implement it, then it's going to do nothing for you. But if you do click on the emails, if you watch the videos, if you do what the videos tell you to do, your life is going to change. You're going to be one of the speakers who are getting on stages. You're going to be one of the speakers who are doing what they love to do for a living rather than just complaining about their job. I mean, look, I get it. I mean, it's crucial that you really get this stuff. It's crucial that you get into how to run a business. It's crucial that you don't just say, "Oh, get me booked on stage." Instead, you focus on doing the right type of marketing that's going to make it happen. Your image is what makes it happen. I mean, how many phone calls do you think Tony Robbins has to make to get a paid speaking gig? I mean, how many phone calls? I mean, let's say there's a company event, and let's say they have a pretty big budget. How many phone calls will Tony Robbins have to make to get them to pay him to be at the event? Really, just one phone call, maybe two, max. But why? It's because he built a huge image. If Tony Robbins calls a company and says, "Hey, I noticed you guys are having an event and I want to speak at that event," then you can just about guarantee that company is going to say yes. And it's just a matter of details like pricing from that point on. But in just one call, maybe two, he could easily book speaking engagements. Now, how many calls do you think you have to make to get booked? I mean, it's definitely more than one call. I mean, everybody's definitely more than one call. But the bigger your image, the easier it is to get hired. So if your image is great, or I mean, if your image is amazing, then instead of having to contact 1,000 people to get one gig, you just have to contact 100 people to get one gig. Build your image and you build your speaking business. Now, the next step to building your speaking business is visibility. You have to be seen by the right people. I mean, what do you think would happen if Tony Robbins called the janitor of the company and asked to get booked? And I mean, even if he said like, "Hey, I'll speak for free." I mean, do you think he would actually get booked? Well, of course not. He's not talking to the right person. He's talking to the freaking janitor, the person who can't hire him no matter what. If you're talking to the wrong people and if you're being seen by the wrong people or nobody, then you're not going to get booked. Luckily, this is actually the easiest thing in the world to fix. This is just about using normal marketing methods like sending emails, calling people, Google AdWords, Twitter, that type of stuff. Just normal marketing methods. But what most speakers do is they look for like this new thing, this magic pill, the new marketing method, the magic pill that's going to instantly get them booked and get them a gazillion stages to speak on. Most speakers want to work for an hour a day and they think they're going to fill up their schedule. Or worse, they just expect other people to find them or just contact them somehow. You have to learn how to increase your visibility to the right people. Now, at the beginning of your speaking career, you're going to be contacting a lot of people yourself. I mean, but what you want to move towards is actually getting most of your paid speaking gigs through referrals. This is actually more like the growth phase, but nothing can really beat referrals because they've seen you speak at another conference. They know for firsthand that you're good. And I mean, you don't have to send them to your website. You don't have to persuade them. They just know firsthand that you're going to be great because they've seen it. The problem is that most speakers leave this to chance. They don't have a way to get referrals. I mean, maybe they ask for it, maybe they don't, but they don't really have a way to get it. They don't have a way to get these spin-off gigs. Getting referrals is like, I mean, it's really like a separate business in itself. You don't just ask for it, you do several things that guarantee it. I essentially call this your referral engine. If I were to ask speakers how they book speaking gigs right now, most of them would say through word of mouth, but they don't actually have a system for getting that word of mouth working, to get it actually going. And if you don't know how your word of mouth system works, then you're not getting any gigs. Hotmail, I mean, I'm sure you know what Hotmail is, the email service. They grew their email service based on word of mouth. But they had a system for it, and it was actually very simple. At the bottom of every email that was sent out, it said something like, sent from Hotmail, get your free account here, or something like that. So if you were to ask someone who worked at Hotmail, how do you guys use word of mouth to grow? Then they would actually easily tell you like, oh, well, at the bottom of every email, we have the signature that says, get your free Hotmail account or whatever. But if you ask a speaker how they use word of mouth to grow, then they're going to have no idea what you're talking about. They're going to say something like, well, what do you mean? I mean, I just asked for a referral. Do you mean that? And those speakers are the same speakers who are struggling to get them. They're struggling to get on stages. As a matter of fact, in the Speak Pro Academy, the 12-week thing, I go over my entire referral engine in week 8, I believe. There are certain things that you do to make it work, and just asking for gigs isn't enough. I mean, the point that I'm getting at is the best visibility you're going to get is through your referrals, and you need to master it. But in the beginning, you have to master, I mean, obviously other marketing techniques. So make sure you get the image, you get the visibility, and then there's the growth phase. The growth phase is where your business just explodes. I mean, it's like all that hard work, all the rough days, they finally come together, and you're basically like, oh man, I finally see how it all fits together. And you just easily book speaking gigs. I mean, your speaking business gets a lot easier. This is where you get the publicity so you can charge more. This is where you learn how to hire people. This is where you create products and you sell the products, and you have upsells in the workshops and trainings for the companies. The growth phase, it essentially cycles back into your image phase, because you're now building your image in a way that allows you to charge more and run things more smoothly. When you get publicity, you're growing your image as a speaker. I mean, now very rarely does publicity actually get you booked, like get you the paid speaking gigs. But what it does do is it funnels back into your image phase. And instead of charging $5,000, now you can charge $10,000. Instead of charging $10,000, now you can charge $1 million. Basically, the more known you are, the more you can charge. And that's obviously why celebrities can charge so much more, even if they suck as speakers. It has nothing to do with their speaking skills. It's just a matter of image and the prestige that they have. Now, anyone can build a speaking business. I mean, it's really just a matter of how bad you want it. I mean, how much specialized knowledge can you get? I mean, that's really what it boils down to. And do you just say you're going to do something, or do you actually do it? If you just want details about the speaking industry, and I mean like some serious details that's going to help you become a more business savvy speaker, then I suggest you join the platform members area. I mean, it's only $348 for the entire year. And we keep uploading new information every month to show you what I'm currently doing in my business, what other speakers are doing, and what you need to do. I was actually reading an article about Warren Buffett. I mean, it was like a couple days ago. I was reading an article about Warren Buffett, and they interviewed Charlie Munger. And Charlie, he's Warren Buffett's partner, his business partner. And he said something interesting about Warren Buffett. He said that Warren Buffett is reading all the time. I mean, he said that he's constantly educating himself. That's why he's so rich, and that's why he's so smart. If you're not constantly educating yourself as a speaker about the speaking business, then you're always going to wonder why you're not getting booked. I mean, what's funny is that actually a lot of speakers who have written me saying that they would join platform, and they'll say things like, oh, I'm going to join platform, but I'm going to do it later. What they don't realize is that they're doing the same things that they've always done. They're not taking action. They're not putting, they are putting things off until later. They're doing the same things. And the only way to make this speaking business work is to get into the habit of doing things right now. I just got done doing a gig for $12,000 for a 60-minute presentation, and I want to point out to you that I don't need $348 a year to get from people who join the platform. I don't need the money. But what I do need is I need to know that someone who joins platform is ready to make things happen. I need you to be in the mindset of let's make this work, rather than, oh, I'm going to think about being a speaker. I'm thinking about being a speaker, and oh, I've always wanted to get paid gigs. I've always wanted to do this for a living. No, I need you to be thinking, look, I've had enough. I'm going to make this work no matter what. I don't care if I have to wake up at 5 a.m, go to sleep at midnight. I'm going to make this happen. And I know that in order for me to do that, I need to know what actions to take. That's the mindset I need people to be in when they join platform. $348 isn't going to change my life, but it's going to change your life. I mean, you have no idea. If you want to build your speaking business, you have to focus on building your image, creating the right visibility, and the growth phase. I want you to join platform right now. Look, don't wait. I mean, don't tell yourself that you're eventually going to do it. Go to platform.speakinglifestyle.com and join it right now.